Good evening and welcome to this wonderful program, Books with Kids. And this is the second edition for we have finished The Virtuous Woman last year, December, which had about 7 or 8 episodes. And then now we are going into another book, which is authored by an indigenous of Borno State, a resident of Borno State, showing us that our people are actually they do read and they do write. So this is the book, Dear Sweet Mother, and then I will let the kids to introduce the book. We have some of the kids here last week have been given the books to go home with it. Meanwhile, the other kids who are coming to join us from Azov, which is in the academy, were not available last week, so they couldn't get the book. So I will ask any one of you who can introduce the author, introduce the book, what the book is about, and so on and so forth. You can go on. Who is going to give us? So you guys, I gave you the last week, so let us start with tell us about the book.
Dear Sweet.
Yeah, okay, tell us.
Dear Sweet Mother is a story of Ibrahim about his school lifestyle and how he achieved his goal. The novel is a long letter that he has wrote to his mother.
Written to his mother.
That he has written to his mother. The first chapter in the book at the right hand is the address of the writer, that is Ibrahim. The address reads as follows: University of Liverpool, West Coast Suburb, England, 11 May 2019. Dear Sweet Mother, I have waited.
Now I thought you are just going to introduce the book, and I think that is very, very good, since it is a book about a kid, Ibrahim, right? Writing letters to his mother, and Ibrahim is studying where? In England, right? So from England he is writing letters to his mother, and then so this means that this book is a conversation between a child and his mother, right? And I think, and I think it is very, very crucial for us to understand the value of our mothers. It is very, very crucial for us to understand that our mothers holds. I don't have the words to describe what they hold in our life, but they are very, very dear to us, and we should cherish them, and we should try as much as possible to help them, to support them. Support can come in any way, and then there's a lot of things we come to talk about how to support your mother and so. But before then, somebody should introduce the author. The author. Who will introduce the author? Okay, we have you.
Born on 22 September
22nd
September 1994 into a family of Mr. and Mrs. Adam Type, by Tenimo from Marama in Howell local government.
Okay. Howell local government.
Borno State, Nigeria.
Okay.
He got BSc in microbiology from the University of Maiduguri, where he was deservedly honored to be awarded award of the most intelligent student class of 2018 Department of Microbiology.
Okay. Who can tell me the meaning of BSc? BSc. Okay. If this is the first time you are seeing the word, if this is the first time you are seeing BSc in your life, raise up your hand. First time you are seeing BSc. BSc. This is the first time. What about you? First time? Is it first time? What about you? Is it the first time you are seeing BSc?
I feel like I saw it
somewhere, but you don't know the meaning. Now, BSc simply means Bachelors of Science. If you've graduated in the university with a science honor, you will be awarded with BSc, that is Bachelors of Science. That is your certificate, showing that you are a science-oriented person and you have earned the honor BSc. Now, aside from BSc, we have others like BTech, Bachelors of Technology. We have BEng, Bachelors of Engineering, we have MBBS, Medical Bachelor and Bachelor of Science. We have LLB, and we have others. So you can, when you go home, when you go to school, you can make your findings about different honors of degree that is awarded. Now, University of Maiduguri is awarding BSc for those who have undergone science. We have Bachelors of Arts also. You get it? And so on and so forth. So now we've introduced the book, which is later, and we've introduced the author, who is an indigenous of Borno State, right? And he is born and raised in Borno. Right?
Yes.
He had done his education in Borno, right?
Yes.
And then, what does this mean to us? What does it mean to you guys? Is it possible for one of you to be a writer?
Yes.
And why do you think it is possible? I think this is a motivation for us. Now, all of you are in junior secondary schools, and you are doing literature in English, and there are books that you read, right? Some of the books, have you ever read about the authors? Okay, you will find different names. Sometimes you will find names from other places in Nigeria. Sometimes you will find names even outside Nigeria. But our schools here hardly adopt the books who are authored by our indigenous. Now I think we need to promote, there's a lot of things we can do to see that all these things are possible to adopt our local authors in our schools, our local books. Now it is enough motivation for all of you to know that yes, you are born in Borno, raised in Borno, you have done your schools in Borno, and you can be whatever you want. You can be an author today, you can be a journalist tomorrow, you can be an astronaut, you can be the governor, you can even go to America and rule them. Wow, perhaps, we don't know, Barack Obama is an African. So all these things are possible. So I think the first thing is that you find your passion, find what you love, find what you understand, then do it. Right? Then do it. Okay. Now, so you have introduced the author. This side is heavy. This side has done quite well. What about this side? This side. Who will take us through chapter 1? Take us through some things in chapter 1. Or introduce chapter 1.
The first chapter in the book.
I think it is high time for you guys to explain rather than read. Right? When you go home and read the books, what did I say? You read, you understand, right? So when you go home and read these books, you should be able to understand so much so that you don't need to read through the book to introduce the chapter. You just need to tell us what the chapter is about.
The first chapter of the book is chapter 1.
Always, every book is chapter 1, that is the first chapter. Have you ever seen chapter 0?
No.
Okay.
And the writer writes a letter to his mother that he is in the University of Liverpool in England. That is 11 May 2019.
He wrote the letter on 11th May 2019.
Yes. He said, "Dear sweet mother, I waited for this time to write this long letter for you. That is to reply the many issues he writes over the telephone or the phone. All this while, and of course, a reaction to many things that have enveloped my thoughts all these years." He is just writing the letter to his mother to talk about something that is happening to him. That is the thing that submerged his thought. And then he write it. The first thing he started writing in the letter is that he starts greeting his mother, and he said to his mother in the letter that she should greet his father. After then he starts saying that Then he start describing how he is to his mother in the letter, who was renowned for being bosomy with a considerably curved both spindly legs, long coated arms, and a pointed nose that made you look like a European. That shows he is describing his mother how she looks like.
A descriptive,
Yes.
his description of his mother.
Then he just go directly to what he want to say to her. He started reminding her about some stories that happened when they were together with his mother before he graduated and go to the University of Liverpool in England. He said that, "Mom, for you to have agreed to marry Dad was diminuted height, that his diminuted height and dried pocket then. That shows that his father was a short man, it's not a long man." And he said his mother just have agreed to marry him, and dried pocket then showed how much you believe in love. That shows is she did not just marry him like this. She married him because she loves him and he loves her. And that he is a Muslim and she is a Christian at the same time.
Okay, so the father now, when they got married, he doesn't have enough money. And then he is also short. So the mother did not go for one, looks, right? Did not go for the looks of the father. Secondly, she did not go for the wealth, right? You know, people nowadays, they go for things that are visible to them, right? Meanwhile, things that are not visible are the most important things. Have you ever seen love with your eyes? Have you ever seen kindness with your eyes? Have you ever seen character with your eyes? So all these things are non-visible to the eyes, but are well visible to the heart, right? So when you go for whatever your heart sees, then you find peace of mind, right? Wealth can finish, looks may disappear. Somebody might go through an accident, and then that is death, or born, and then that is the health, right? But things which are not visible, which are characteristics of you, then they stay with you, however it is, right? Okay, so somebody should help Ali. Somebody should take over from Ali. You guys that have read this thing, you should take over from me. I'm supposed to even allow you people to anchor this program. I think subsequent times I will be sitting behind the camera to see you guys and then sit among you. Okay, take us to.
Do you remember, Mom, the day that God answered with you? He is reminding her about the day that
The mother and the father,
yes, the father has got angry.
so they had a bit of a quarrel.
That was before I left for Auntie Mariam's house. It was on a calm Sunday morning.
Come Sunday morning.
Calm Sunday morning. I know you must have forget. Let me bore you a bit with it. That day, at about past 8, you were still in the house. Well, relaxed, sitting on a wooden chair. It was very unusual of you. You had usual already gone to church at that hour. What made you to still be at home at that time of the day? I could not tell. I was not bothered Actually, as I even needed you around me always. Dad had gone out early that week to get a plumber.
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 Now, who can tell me who is a plumber? A plumber? Who can tell me who is a plumber?
The person who fixes spoiled pipe.
Good. The person who does plumbing. And plumbing has to do with water, right?
Yes.
In and out of water. Pipelines. Very, very good. So I think he has gone out to get a plumber who will fix our spoiled pipe. Now this is Ibrahim writing a long letter to his mother, probably after a long time that they had this conversation, right? So he wrote the letter to his mother, and first he reminded her of old memories, as Ali here rightly said. He reminded her of old memories so that she will laugh a bit, she will smile a bit, right? You know, sometimes when you remember some joyous moments, you tend to smile a bit, right? And that would bring some kind of happiness to you, right? Then after the reminder, after making her smile, after making her happy, then he might even discuss his problem. I think most of you will just go to your parent and say, oh, whoever you are there to, and say whatever you want directly. Or sometimes you have to remind them of how they mean to you, the moments you had together, and so on and so forth. Who even among you have ever written a letter? Have you ever written a letter to anyone, to a friend? Not the one that in school will come and tell you classwork or assignment. Write a letter to your friend in so school, telling him how you feel about why. Not that. I want an actual letter that you have wanted to write. How long you have ever written that? Okay. What did you write your letter to?
I asked dictionary for
Nice. So you had to write a letter. So I think that is an official letter, right? It is a formal letter. What about you? Your friend,
yes.
he is where?
Yes,
The same school? So you just feel like, yeah, it is good. He's practicing his letter writing skills. Okay, who did you write the letter to?
Asking him for
Money? You have forgotten?
no.
Okay, you wanted him to buy.
Arabic.
Okay, you wanted him to buy a book for you, right? Okay, nice. An Arabic book. What about you?
I wrote a letter to our coordinator.
Asking him for dictionary. For what?
My book.
For your book. Okay, what about you, Ali? Have you written any?
No.
Sal, have you written any? So you guys, you people that are in boarding school, have written letters. All of you. You guys that are sitting at home doing nothing, you have not written any letter. That is good for you. So, what form of letter did you write? What is it called?
It's called formal letter.
Did I ask you? Did I ask you? What about your own? What form of letter did you write? Informal or formal? Formal letter. You wrote a formal letter to your uncle. What about you?
Official.
What type is official?
Any letter that went to offices.
Yeah, no. What is it called?
Formal.
What about you?
Informal.
Informal. You wrote it to your friend.
Yes.
It's an informal letter. So what about this letter written from Ibrahim in England to his mother in Nigeria? What form?
Informal.
Informal letter.
Is it not formal?
It's
Informal.
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 Okay. A formal letter has has how many addresses?
Two.
God, why did I even say that?
Formal.
Why did I? 4 addresses?
Yes.
Okay, the first one is your own address. The second one is the coordinator's address. The fourth one is which?
has two ways.
As to
Formal
Writers
letter
and
address.
receivers.
The
Writer
receiver
and
address
receiver. Good. What about informal?
Informal is one.
Writer
only
and
for
The
the
only for the writer.
Hmm?
The writer's address is recommended only.
Like this one.
Okay. Like this one, whose address should be on the letter?
The writer.
The writer's
Close the book.
address.
Writer's address?
Yes.
Writer's address? Writer's address? You want the writer's address to be on the letter, right?
informal letter.
Okay, or in an informal letter.
Yes, is the writer's address there?
So how will they know where to take the letter to?
It's one letter.
How will they know where to direct the letter to? If you write a letter today, you put your address, put it in an envelope, and yes, that is your own address. That is your own, you as the writer. And you want to send it to your friend in Kano. How will you take it to post office? And then the post office will take it to your friend in Kano. How will you do that?
When they get to call they will call you.
Ah.
And you will call her.
So what
Wow.
about the time that in olden days that phones do not exist?
Uncle, we write two address.
It's not
It
One
has,
is for the writer
it has become-
and one
For the
For the
receiver.
There is
Formal
salutation.
Become formal again.
has become phone. I think
They will just write the
You write
receiver's address on the envelope.
damn, this guy have seen probably one or two letters in his father's room that he had written to Buhari when Buhari was the president of Nigeria, was the head of state of Nigeria in 1970s. So when you are writing a letter to a person, an informal letter, you put your own address so that when it is coming back, if there is a reply, they know where to reach you, right? Then at the envelope, then you put the address of who? The receiver, right? Then I think that is how you write a letter. So now is it possible to write a letter from England to Nigeria?
yes.
Is it not fictional to write a letter from England to is it not a fairy tale? Now if you go to England, will you be able to write a letter to me in Nigeria?
Yes.
The letter will travel through air. Maybe.
through phone.
Phone, that is a text message.
Yes.
You can also write letters through phones and send them, right? Since we are in the technological era and things are made easy, while other people have become what? Lazy. Some people have become lazy because of technology. Okay, so there was a plumber. The father went out to. He was telling her of when the father went out to find the plumber. Even reminded her of when the father and the mother had a quarrel, and then the father was a bit angry, and then there are a lot of things that he had remembered. So, for those of you who have read chapter 1, which among these moments captured your heart? Which among this reminder captured your heart? Which among it captured your attention? Is it when the father was angry, or is it when the father went out to look for a plumber, or is it when they sat down on a mat and ate chicken? Is there anything like that in the book? No, you not read the book. You will go and read it again next week. So when he got angry, so how did he overcome his anger? How did he overcome his anger? You see, in life, there are some moments when you will be angry. There are some moments when our parents get angry with each other, right? But there are different ways in which they overcome it, right? Wherever it is, you are a human, you have a heart, and the heart carries emotion. And sometimes small things, little things may hurt another person. Sometimes it is even the word you say that another person will feel a bit hurt about it, right? Sometimes it is the action you do. Sometimes it is even what you did not do, right? What you are supposed to do and you have forgotten to do it, right? It may anger another person's emotion. So I think in life, what we are supposed to be doing is to be very, very conscious of the people around us, to know what it is that angers them, to know what it is that gladdens their heart, and then avoid what it is that will make them angry. Now, this father might have been angry because he went out to work and he did not get naira, he did not get a kobo, and he comes back, and then the mother was trying to say, "Me aba kifi, ko me aba nama," and then him, maybe he went out since in the morning 6 a.m. worked. After he had finished working, before he comes back home, the person who he had worked for said, "Allah kaje ka dawo ranar Sunday." Now you see, he will be angry, that he will be frustrated that he had worked and he had not been paid. Yes. And when he comes back home, instead of the mother to go and even welcome him, give him water, collect his bag, and do whatever it is, then she now start talking about bill, money, kifi, or gishiri even. You know, he will be angry now.
Yes.
Even if you are a tree, you'll be angry. You'll be angry.
Yes.
Unless if you are truly in love with that person, and then the person just smile after you are angry, and then you now smile with the person again. Okay, so let us continue. So this Ibrahim is even surprised that the mother married his father, who is short and penniless at the time of the marriage. But I think that might not be the same when Ibrahim had gone to school. Sometimes people get married when they have little, right? And they are trying to survive, right? Sometimes they marry when they have money, when they have the buoyancy, and then at the end, then they now go down. The money is finished,
Yes.
right? The finances are finished, the health is gone, and then it is at that stage the person will start to suffer. Other times, when people are poor, it doesn't mean that they will be poor forever. Time will come when they will not, the poverty will go, or perhaps they find happiness and contentment within what they have. It is not about having the money, it is about satisfaction and enjoying life. Because if you don't have money, if you have money and you don't enjoy life, you are in water. Right?
Yes.
So okay. So maybe Ibrahim's father was poor, and then he became a bit financially stable eventually, and then Ibrahim got to study in England. Right. So let us continue the work.
As he got into the room, I still saw you sat. He was shocked.
He was shocked.
Shocked.
Good.
He thought at that time you would have been to church, as you always do. There, I hope you're okay. You are okay. This one you
are still at home. This one you are still at home, said lovingly, looking straight into your face. Now, I don't know if Ibrahim was in the room when the father came and said that he's describing, or perhaps the mother had narrated what had transpired to Ibrahim.
On a chair.
Okay, Ibrahim was in the room
Yes.
when the father came. So she did not go to church, and usually at that time she should have been in the church. So he just came and said, "Are you okay? This one that you are still in the room," things like that. That is what happened. You beamed briefly. "Honey, I am well. I think it's laziness," you responded, and concomitantly gave a sweetly smile. Right? That is what had happened. You beamed. I think in the virtuous woman there was a similar word, beam. Right? beaming. Or was it radiance? In the virtuous woman, there was a similar word, beaming. I can remember. I think it was you who who told us of this new word. See, whenever you find these new words, make sure to put them to use. It doesn't mean that you have to converse with them, with anybody. You don't need to come and discuss with somebody and then insert the words. You might as well write, right? You might as well write things, write articles, write letters. Just try writing narrative essay, right? Just write anything. You can even write how your day went, and then you put them into use. Tomorrow you put them. You gradually will get used to them, so that whenever you see the word, you know exactly what it means. Right? Now you beamed. Briefly, it's like you beam. There's a light hand, and then there's a light coming out of your face. Like it seems like there was a light, a hand coming out of her face. Honey, I'm well. It is her response. She was telling the father that she is well, but it was just laziness that had prevented her from going to church. Right? Sometimes laziness and procrastination will prevent us from doing a lot of things. You wake up in the morning and you are hungry and you have to cook food, and then you feel laziness. You don't want to cook food, you will die. Stand up, cook, eat. Yes. You don't know that eating food is very, very important. It gives you energy. So sometimes you feel this laziness, but it depends on you, how you intend to overcome such laziness, right? You cannot expect to sit down and do nothing and expect things to go the way you want. So I think this is quite an introduction for this book. There are things that are very, very interesting, but since you guys are not together with us, I will allow you the grace of a week. Read chapter 1, summarize it next week, and then tell us of chapter 2. You have to read chapter 1. Yes, who asked you not to come? You have to read chapter 1 and 2 simultaneously. Now, after that, since we are running out of time, we need to run up the program and see what we can do next week, inshallah. I have an assignment that I asked those of you who were here last week. It wasn't a live program, it wasn't a recorded program. We just had a conversation since 4 of you were missing. We had a conversation and session. So I asked, there are things that we discussed, and I think we will have time to discuss the same thing with you people. It is very, very important. So you tell me. Okay, let me start from. They say ladies first. Ladies first.
Yes.
Let us start with the lady.
I want to be a good baker, and I will be a good baker by practicing how to bake.
Okay, since you have found your goal, you want at the end of 2023 to be a very, very good. There's something else that they used to call it, but since you choose baker, I forgot the other word. It is culinary art. So I think you are good. Okay, you just need to practice. Then, do you practice at home or you have a school to attend?
I'm practicing it
At home. Who is your mentor?
my sister.
So your sister is a good baker, and you want to be a good baker to sell or to eat. Or you know, where ladies like to be eating flour, so that their come out will be like this. So which one? Do you want to be eating it alone and be doing stingy?
No,
Or you want
to sell it.
So you want to make it a profession,
Yes.
a business, and I think you are good to go. You practice with whatever little you have. You look at your sister when she's doing it. You can as well check some YouTube videos on how to bake, whatever it is that you want to bake. Then whenever you do practice and you test it and it is testing good, please call my number so that I will come and help you judge it whether it is good or not. She cannot tell us whether it is good or not. We have to tell her, we have to inform her of it. to rate it, right? So when it is good, alhamdulillah. When it is bad, oh, mashallah.
Okay.
What about you? What do you want to achieve before the end of 2023, and how do you intend to achieve it?
I want to be a crochet maker.
You want to be a what?
Crochet maker.
What is crochet?
A person who making clothes.
Okay, you want to be a fashion designer? You want to be a fashion designer before 2023 ends?
Yes.
Now, if you want to make clothes before 2023, have you ever been to a tailor shop?
Not like that.
Okay, what type?
Like the one that they are using to do sweater at school.
Okay, you want to be a weaver. You want to be able to weave shirts and so on and so forth. I think that is good. Have you practiced? Do you practice it?
Yes, I have to eat once.
Okay, and we are in January, and I'm feeling cold, and I don't have a sweater. So how are we going to do about it? How do you intend to achieve your goal before 2023 ends?
I have to ask my grandmother how did she do it.
So your grandmother is a good weaver. She does it. So you ask her for mentorship. And then your grandmother is in another part of the world. She will be mentoring you through phone calls and video calls, I think. I presume, right? Or you are going there to go and learn. Okay, I think you are good to go. You just need to get your hands on the tools, then you do practice. You start by making one sweater for me, so that
I have make one socks.
Socks. What will I do with socks?
I do socks for Samiha.
Oh, nice. What about you?
I
Please
want to
make
pass-
it. No, wait. Make sure it is something that I can eat.
You cannot destroy your food.
Okay.
I want to just pass my junior work examination with AA.
So you want to pass your junior work exams with straight A's.
Yes.
I think that is quite a goal. What was my grade as junior NECO? It was junior NECO that I did. Maybe I'll check the grade and show you. It was quite something. It wasn't D's, it wasn't A's, and maybe it wasn't B's. Maybe it was C's. Okay, so I think I will come to the end of the program for this pilot episode of the program, an introduction into the book Their Sweet Mother, which is written by Tanimu A. Tahir Mbaya, an indigenous of Borno State, as we rightly mentioned at the beginning. And then this letters from a child who is studying in England, right, to his mother who is in Nigeria. We don't know why in Nigeria. Is it in Maiduguri? Oh, the mother is in Borno.
Yes.
So he's writing from England to Borno to converse with his mother, to catch up with his mother. So I think you guys will do well to practice letter writing. When you read, show me a letter you write to anyone, an informal letter. Next week, come with a letter you write to anyone. I would like to read it and see how good is the letter. For those of you from Azov, what we discussed last week was very, very lengthy, and I think we cannot discuss it due to time factor here. But it was the importance of reading, the importance of having a goal, being a goal-oriented person, and the importance of planning objectives and then achieving the goal. Now, it was lengthy. We will have another session with you of the media, then discuss it. But what I want you guys to do is to go home before Friday next week, get what you want to achieve before the end of 2023, and then tell me how you intend to achieve that, the plans you have to achieving that. I might have, my plans might be to read 100 books before the end of 2023, 100 books, and consume them. Not only reading, because reading is not the thing here. You have to read, understand, and then consume, and use what you have learned. It's not the new words. It is not only new words that use what you have learned from the book in your life, right? So thank you very much, you wonderful viewers, for supporting us with your views. Care to show these programs to your kids at home, your brothers and sisters at home who are around this age. This program is meant to increase the literary culture among young people in Nigeria. So thank you very much for listening. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.